industry is a complicated thing to navigate.
Okay, I gotcha. Hey everyone, welcome back to Tech Tuesday, episode 9. Can you believe that? Episode 9? That's wild. A lot has changed, a lot of lighting, soundproofing, and now our own little backdrop with our Aces logos and products and stuff like that. So this is big time. This is getting serious. So thank you so much for all of your support, for watching this, for liking this, for giving us ways that we can do better here on our little podcast, but also for just Aces in general, the things that we've been able to add to improve and help the customer. So this is awesome. I'd never imagined it blowing up as big as it has.
Yeah. Like I was saying, if you want to do something, sometimes you just got to do it.
And episode 1 would say that. We just kind of did it. Okay, here we go. Question 1. Elise Ferris, 3857 says, "Hey Tim, on my 1985 Toyota pickup 222R 4x4, I was able to set the injector flow rate to 50 pounds per hour. With the current handheld software, works great for my bore head and manifold have been ported as well. So my guess is stock 22R would need to go lower than that."
Well, that's counterintuitive. If you tell the computer, because it has 100-pound-an-hour injectors in there, right?
Right.
It has like a set duty cycle. Like this is normal operating. If you take it to 50, that's essentially going to double the pulse width of your injector. So what you can do is go in there and throw some fuel at the VE table, and then start adjusting your pounds an hour the other direction.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I don't know if we're dealing with the rated injector pressure or the flow rate itself, but
Is this on a?
It's on a really cool, like an Overlander Toyota that I quite like.
On a Killshot?
Killshot.
With 50 pounds an hour injectors?
It has 100 pounds in it.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But she has set it to a lower pounds an hour flow rate. But essentially, that's a good indicator that you need to go in there and do some funny stuff to the table. And I really hope to cover this in a training video at one of these points, because I got, as you know, we're fixing to do a Royal Flush install video, and because it's really awesome and putting it on the truck, all the way up to doing a tune and putting it on the dyno again. Like I did with the Killshot. Made 203 horsepower. I want to see how far I can stretch the legs on that thing with more spark energy and a better tune.
Okay, so Dan Archer actually gave a really good comment based on wanting more instructional videos. And like you were just talking about, we're doing the one on the Royal Flush. And one thing that customers really want to see are more either install videos, things that will help them, figure out how to install their systems, how to run their systems, troubleshoot it, and things like that happen. So what is our plan, and what are some ideas that we're currently in the making of processing of making for stuff like that in the future, because that is a good thing to touch on just a little bit more.
Yep. So the O2 sensor video, or like the proper placement and kind of the theory behind a lot of stuff, because it's not just so much just throw an O2 sensor in there. We get a lot of folks that put them in weird spots, and they don't understand the fluid dynamics behind it. But I think I need to make a video, at least for the Aces, about just straight up just where to install the O2 sensor, where's the best spot, and then give a good example. The engine test stand is a prime example. It's exactly where it needs to be for a lot of reasons. But yeah, coming soon. You should see that video out here in the Metasphere.
All right, question 2, technically. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Oh, you want to read it?
Yeah.
Okay, best of luck with that. I don't do words.
I have faith.
Which one we doing here?
Right here. Dwayne Pettis, 6545.
Oh yeah, good old Dwayne, man. I ain't talked to that dude in a minute.
Really good car.
Well, really nice guy.
Yeah.
It's so funny, as I've talked to so many people, and Some are more agreeable than others,
Mhm.
as you know, in tech. But, sometimes it's just like just a down-to-earth, really legit nice person. They got a really cool car, and they're all happy to share it. And
He's actually really close. He's in Athens. Yeah, I think his shop's in Cleveland, Tennessee.
I kind of wonder if he'd ever want to come down and visit and check out the whole scene.
Probably, yes.
Alright,
He watches every Tech Tuesday.
Oh, that's good.
All right, here we go.
Get him a free hat or something.
Question 3. I think he did.
I might have.
I can't remember.
Yeah. Is there an optimum temperature for the Killshot to run, or is it based on thermostat temperature? If thermostat, then what is the recommended temp for 180, for example? In my experience, 8 degrees above than off temp on other brands. I'm assuming you're meaning about like closed loop and learning operations.
And just like the temperature of the Killshot anyway.
Really, about $1.80 is kind of the business. That's where I like mine on a small block, because if you're towing with it, you don't want it to get too warm. So I like to make sure that my closed loop, my thermostat's open, my fans are within 5 to 10 degrees of working, and that's where I set my operating temperature at. Some people like them lower. My Tahoe, for instance, it runs at 150 degrees. Of course, it may look horrible, but it's a very special vehicle that's running on E85. It also tows very well, but it runs extremely low no matter thermostat or not.
Yeah.
I have to be towing like up Jellicoe Mountain with 6,000 pounds behind it before it even gets to operating temperature. So I've had to manipulate everything in that vehicle. Maybe I should do a video.
A Tahoe video?
The cruddy white one I got out in the parking lot.
No, I'm aware. I'm aware.
I'll be doing a very special video install on that thing. Switching over to a Killshot. Unfortunately, we don't make the manifold for it, so I had to actually purchase the thing. And trans control.
Let's go.
Well,
womp, womp, womp. You just said trans control with Killshot. I might have to cut that out.
Doesn't matter. I've said it so many times.
I know.
Everybody's aware that we're R&D in that right now. I can't wait to test it, because as soon as I test it and check all the boxes and then actually drive it around for like a week or two,
yeah.
Anywho.
Anyhoozles. Hi, Tim. Currently, it is not possible to edit a jackpot tune and save it while not connected to the ECU. Is this something that can be corrected? Offline tuning would be a huge benefit to remote tuning.
HEMI. Delta Zulu 7-1. Anyhoozles. Yeah, that's weirdly a thing that we're trying to make better, is the ability to snatch a tune off the ECU, do a full manipulation on it, be able to share it, be able to save it, be able to up and download it, all that good stuff, including being able to do the same stuff through the handheld. That's something that we're like currently working on, because it is quite a software conundrum to be able to do that, but we're upgrading other things along the way too to function better. So
we have a lot of potential R&D projects that are on the docket to do and are in the process of doing. However, I think the old mantra, there's only so much time in the day. And not only that, but we're a smaller company. So we don't have a whole R&D department. We have Tim.
Yeah, essentially.
Who is also our technician, who is also our, all the hats that you wear. So I think
2 different business cards with different names on, like different position names. Yeah.
But, I mean, that's neither here nor there. The point is that there are a lot of things that are on the docket to do. It's not like it's something that we've thought about, maybe pursued, but like we will get to it at some point. It's just a matter of, what comes first. Roger that. All right, question 5. Brent Scott 8644 says, do you offer a splitter to run the handheld and the pro tuning at the same time, or is it even possible right now?
Nah.
No, it's not.
Well, the thing is, so the handheld and the tuning software work through a CAN network.
Right.
Well, we don't really have a CAN network. We have CAN communication. CAN network is coming soon with another project that'll tie together hand in hand.
We gotta be careful with telling people how many things we're working on.
It's fine. People get excited about stuff. They'll be like, "When's this thing coming out? I want it next week." I'm like, "Well, tough, because if you still got 6 months with R&D to do on it, and it'll show up eventually, and everybody will be happy." But so for the can communication, splitter is something we actually had a recent conversation about, because that's going to be essentially just a little breakout jumper that you put in line with your handheld, because a lot of people permanently mount their 7 or 5 inch handhelds in the dash, and there's a lot to that. But whenever you want to go and dial in your tune, the only thing is whenever that becomes a reality of that splitter working in the CAN network to do all the communication with no interruption of signal, because it'll send to both locations. We just need to kind of like a check valve situation. That will be it'll be just like a little jumper piggyback situation, because we'll also be using that same jumper for our peripherals, like our CAN IO modules, our trans control and whatnot, because then it will be officially a network instead of just a line of communication with the ECU. There's a huge difference, and I don't want to have a 20-minute conversation about it because we don't have that much time.
Question 6. Sebastian Hermith, 2829.
Sebastian, good cool stuff as always. Thanks, Sebastian Hermith, 2829. Any plans on jackpot systems for other engines than an LS? What about a GM LT? Junk. Hemis and Toyotas? Yes.
Yeah.
So at some point in the future, because the market demands it, and my customers ask a whole bunch.
Yep.
I wouldn't really see customers, because in tech I don't really have customers. I've just got people.
You're combining businesses.
It's kind of a whole thing.
But they are. I mean, they are customers.
Customers.
People who you talk to on
aces.
the phone. Yeah.
So, I'm starting a 2JZ project just for some R&D. It would be some real custom stuff. And if it turns out that was easy to do and feasible and don't have to spend a whole lot of money on wiring harness modifications somehow, then you may see the jackpot variant or another system variant. Not so much jackpot, but other system. We do have another system that's more flexible, but that's not really anything on the market.
Yeah.
It's just that's kind of an R&D benchmark situation. But you should see a jackpot HEMI, a jackpot Coyote, the LT stuff, because it has a high pressure fuel pump and a eccentric lobe on the camshaft and direct port injection and all that. Would have to have all kinds of. We'd have to have a whole extra CAN module just to control the fueling on it, and it's a real pain. And just if we started that right now to develop something for the LT, it would take 2 years.
Epic. Alrighty, question 7. So I just installed my jackpot, and I'm getting popping through the exhaust on the number 1 D-cell. The second thing, I want the idle to come down slower. I double clutch downshift and blip the throttle. Wow, this is intense. But it goes down so fast that it actually drops below my 850 RPM mark, and I really have to blip it way harder than I want to. Does he mean flip it or blip it?
Blip.
No, I guess he means blip. Oh, okay.
It's not of your generation to understand what that means.
It's okay. I'll get over it. David Turner, 6397, asked this question.
So
that's like a genuine tech call.
That's a proper question. I like
question.
It. Popping through the exhaust on D-cell. Go into your tuning software, Spark, and follow tables. Throw about 5 degrees, maybe 10 degrees of timing in there, because that is your timing on throttle closed, deceleration through the RPMs. If you're getting a lot of pops and bangs in there, throw some timing at it. That way the timing isn't so retarded on D-cell, and it's not carrying that extra fuel, that unburned fuel back out the tailpipe. Because if you spent $1,000 on an exhaust system, you really don't want that.
Yep.
Also, for the decay rate of your idle, whenever it makes that transition from one state to another, you can go in there and mess with the decay rate of your IAC, for instance. Have you guys ran a jackpot with a Holley high ram? Yeah. Few people do. It's not a big deal. It's just a high ram. I mean, we could technically purchase it and knock the Holley name off top of it. Or just... What?
Yeah, it can work.
Will it work with the Holley high ram? Yeah, it's just an intake style.
Yep.
I got a couple customers that do run it with a high ram. What did you do?
I don't listen to me. I don't know what I did. I know what I did. Don't worry about what I did.
All right. So there was a dynamite question I had.
Yeah.
Actually. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That one.
Man, I want to get to all these questions.
We'll
but
do
we're
this
already
one
at
because
like
it's
30 minutes in.
No, it's fine. Dano 74Z.
Question 8.
Question whatever.
Question
Hello, I have a fast dual sync distributor, part number 305005. Coming out of distributors, 4 wires. That's correct. Yellow is a cam, black ground, brown crank, red switch 12 volt. Is it possible to use a distributor with a Killshot? Probably a little overkill, but is it possible to use this distributor with a Killshot? Yeah. You're just not going to use the yellow wire. Because there's going to be a Hall effect pickup and a little reluctor. It's going to be on a little circuit board with the tone wheel above it, and it's going to be a Hall effect sensor, little magnetic pickup. And as the leading edge of that comes across it, it'll pick it up. Ours algorithmically reads the rising edge of those windows for a Hall effect style pickup. So it's going to see that little, and it's going to be like 1 pulse, 1 fire, 1 pulse, 1 fire, 1 pulse, 1 fire. That's what it's going to do. So, yeah, you can use 3 of the 4 wires. Just hook it up. The brown crank wire is going to go to the from CDI TAC input gray wire on our system, and you'll mark it down as CDI. You'll have to, drop it in appropriately. But the thing is, you'll have to reinvent the wheel, essentially, getting that dual sync dropped in just right because of how they function. And it's a $400 distributor. Ours is $164. It's the easy button.
Yeah.
That one will be a little bit finicky until you get it right. And it won't, if it's popping and banging and carrying on and not starting right, not done, it's nothing to do with our system. It's actually just the distributor being finicky of not being just exactly perfect.
You made it.
I made it back. I had to hit the button on the thing. YouTube hand activate. Anyways.
Here we go. All right. Last question. We want to get to as many comments as humanly possible. Unfortunately, if time continues to, as our channel continues to grow, as these podcasts continue to grow in popularity, we won't be able to get to as many questions. However,
are we doing it at SEMA?
Yeah.
Sweet.
What do you mean? Absolutely. So we're going to.
We should totally do it live at SEMA.
Do you want to? We'll do a live SEMA Tech Tuesday?
We'll do a live SEMA Tech Tuesday.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
If you want to, we might actually be able to take live questions, like live questions at SEMA.
Well, one thing we could also do is if we catch any of our customers there, and we're going to do a live thing, we can set them in too, and it'd be a whole thing. We could, especially if they've had a problem before, we could talk about what the problem was.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'll be dynamite.
That's cool. That's really exciting.
That's a really good one.
Okay. All right. Here we go. But if your question is not addressed in this Tech Tuesday, we will go back and try to get to it as well in the comment section below. Last question for today is by Drag Brick. On a single turbo setup on an LS, should I run both O2 sensors, one on each side of the header, or just one before or after the turbo? And the reason I ask is the turbo setup I'm running is the single turbo manifold, and driver side feeds back to the passenger side of the manifold. And what I'm worried about is the passenger side of the engine leaning out due to the driver side exhaust also passing by the passenger side of the O2 sensor.
Neat. So you got an on-3 setup. That's one of my favorites. They're affordable. They work. It's normally bolts up. When you set your jackpot up as it goes, or multi-port, or whatever you're using, probably jackpot in this case, you're going to set it for one O2 sensor, and you're going to plug it into the wideband O2 number 1 connector. And you're going to put it 18 to 24 inches past your turbo because it's hot back there and it's turbulent and all kinds of stuff. So essentially where your downpipe goes and it comes out of the turbo and goes down, you want to hit it in that straight spot right there, about 18-ish inches. Don't put it in any curvy bits of pipe because of velocity and fluid dynamics and weight of gases and a bunch of other factors. It'll give you an inaccurate reading and turbulence. But yeah, about 18 to 24 after, run with an O2 sensor. That way you don't have to worry about the bank-to-bank fuel trims. It'll just, anything in the learning table will only show up on number 1, but it will cater to the entire engine. So that's super important because I know there's a lot more people out there right now that's setting our stuff up for turbo, and I've got this question 6 times this month. I'll have to check my document, but I'm pretty sure it's about 6 times.
Hey everyone, thanks again so much for watching this episode of Tech Tuesday. We are so appreciative of how well this has gone so far. If you liked it, please leave a like down below. If you have any questions about ACES products, or anything related to EFI, again, please leave your comment down below. And if you see any Tech Tuesday related media anywhere else on social media, feel free to show us some love as well. And maybe moving forward, we will do, I guess since episode 10 is coming up next, we might do something special for that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think we should. What's your vote? Should we do an outside segment?
Outside segment?
Some thing we're working on, or whatever.
Enjoying the fall weather and some hot cocoa.
Yeah, we definitely could. I'm down. I am so down with that.
Thank you again so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.